Hello everyone, welcome back. This is module 7, roundup. So congratulations to everybody for successfully completing module 7, and as usual, thanks for your engagement with the module. You are about to start the final module of this course. I hope you are satisfied with your experience so far. This week we talked about transparency and accountability. And so in particular in the small group discussion forums, you had to consider why the EU is struggling to comply with the Aarhus Convention. The Aarhus Convention gives to citizens the right to access environmental information. But while we might agree with the fact that the principles included in the convention are valuable, and also that you might see this convention as an ideal of transparency, in practice, however, it's not that effective. And why this is the case? You provided with multiple reasons why this might be the case. And in particular, in one of the two small group discussion forums, you really focused on the scope of the convention. And you kind of agreed with the fact that it might be too broad. Of course, this causes problems. For example, in terms of interpretations of the details. For example, what reasonable costs means. That's a problem, and there is room for interpretation. In the other small group discussion forum, you provided with other reasons why the EU might struggle to comply. You also mentioned this broad scope of the convention, but then you also focused on a lack of resources and also on too high compliance costs. And I think you mostly agreed with the fact that the convention puts an unreasonable burden on regulators and public authorities at the national level. In the class-wide discussion forum, we instead focused on accountability. And you had to apply the concept to a context of your own choice. Now, accountability can be defined as the duty, you might say, to give account for one's action to some other persons or organizations or bodies. And you might say that it's useful to strengthen the relationship between a regulator and stakeholders. Now, you shared a few examples from different industries like the World Trade Organization or the communication industry, the financial sector, but also real estate as related to the financial sector. And many of these sectors and industries are subject to multiple accountability measures. Now, some of you were satisfied with those measures, like in the case of Ofcom in the UK. Others pointed out that more is needed, like in the case of the World Trade Organization. And I think there were many well-taken points, and the discussion was interesting. Now, I'd like to leave to you a provocative question on whether it is possible to have too much accountability. And I ask you this because you might think that too much accountability forces the regulator to focus on keeping the principal happy, principal being either the public or politicians or whatever you like. It might focus too much on keeping the principal happy while not focusing on having a long-term perspective. And this might be detrimental for regulation quality. But now, thanks again. So again, you are about to start the final module of this online course. So in the last module, we will talk about regulation beyond the state. In particular, in the first unit, you will see drivers of transnational regulation. And then in the second unit, you will be exposed to the challenges that are involved in developing international standards and principles. And I'm looking forward to the final discussion. Thanks.